Starting off with the 1970s, Led Zeppelin were important individuals that got formed where rock wasn't very successful, as there wasn't many good rock bands at the time, bringing heavy metal to the global stage, giving it a rise to more alternative types of rock and roll that later on resulted in the forming of other successful bands, made a statement for heavy metal history. Songs that went mainstream. Led Zeppelin came out with a song that came out in 1972 called Immigrant Song. Another example would be Whole Lotta Love that came out in 1969. As British music started going down, heavy metal started to morph out because of this. Rock started to bring in business as many successful artists started becoming known and getting known. New rock stars started to emerge. This being a significant event in history since it brought up recognition to the rock era. This is how rock music started to evolve. The lead band members being Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and John Paul Jones. That being an example of what heavy rock metal music used to sound like. Overall, heavy rock metal music has stayed to its roots. Moving into the 1980s, Depeche Mode became an electric pop band but was originally Britain's new romantic movement, began the era of dance pop outfit but then changed to a darker sense of clothing, becoming one of the most alternative bands of their era. A alternative music boom, this type of music known as college rock. Songs that went mainstream included a song that came out in 1981 called Just Can't Get Enough, and a song that came out in 1984 called People Are People. The mainstream of television helped with the promotion of music videos, bringing new bands and new music styles such as college rock, making music have more access because of the production of CDs and television and broadcasting music. That being an example of what college rock is known for. This becoming a significant event in history since rock music started to change and evolve along with the era, adjusting to the changes. The lead band members of Depeche Mode include Dave Gahan, Martin Gore, and Andy Fletcher. Moving into the 1990s, Nirvana made a hit song that started a new era to come. It had made many mainstream songs that made it big with the audience of the era, still being listened to nowadays, could be recognized now by their iconic smiley face logo as most people could recognize it by. This type of rock being known as rap rock, a more modern take on what rock once used to be. Having more access to music became much easier because of the internet. Alternative rock was no longer following record labels as they wanted to get a more widespread variety, having success in the mainstream audience. As hip hop started to grow, heavy metal started to adjust to all the changes happening. The lead band members being Kurt Cobain, Chris Novoselic, and Dave Grohl. This being an important historical significance because band music was no longer left unrecognized. It started hitting the mainstream and getting the recognition it finally deserved. Overall, rock has changed in many different ways as it has had many cultural shifts, but what has remained the same was it still was one of the most unique type of music genres.